Part 47. Come on, join us. Please like and subscribe, then relax and enjoy. And recalled their meeting last, out near Nacogdoches, just 20 short days past. There Bonnie had sat, so young, so lovely, only 23. With the May moonlight sifting through Bonnie's red hair, making shadows on her cheeks, as she talked calmly of death, like a topic not worth of despair. Now, Mama, don't get upset. Why shouldn't we talk it over? It's coming. You know it, I know it. The whole of Texas knows it. Bonnie had looked up with a funny smile, as if she were much, much older, and wise beyond the years of mortals, as if she had in her mind already transcended death for a while. Into Emma's hand Bonnie had pressed a wad of hot cash, as she'd always done at all of their meetings, and this time also a few pages torn from a 1933 diary, on which she'd written out a little poem that she'd named The Trail's End. The Trail's End. You've read the story of Jesse James, of how he lived and died. If you're still in need of something to read, here's the story of Bonnie and Clyde. Now Bonnie and Clyde are the Barrow Gang. I'm sure you all have read how they rob and steal, and how those who squeal are usually found dying or dead. There's lots of untruth to their write-ups. They're not so merciless as that. Their nature is raw. They hate all the laws, the stool pigeons, spotters, and rats. They class them as cold-blooded killers. They say they are heartless and mean. But I say this with pride, that I once knew Clyde, when he was honest, upright, and clean. But the law fooled around, kept taking him down, and locking him up in a cell, till he said to me, I'll never be free, so I'll meet a few of 'em in hell. This road was so dimly lighted, there was no highway signs to guide, but they made up their minds, if the roads were all blind, they wouldn't give up till they died. The road gets dimmer and dimmer, sometimes you can hardly see, still it's fight man to man, and do all you can, for they know they can never be free. If they try to act like a citizen, and rent them a nice little flat, about the third night they're invited to fight by a sub-gun's rat-tat-tat. If a policeman is killed in Dallas, and they have no clues for a guide, if they can't find the fiend, they just wipe the slate clean and hang it on Bonnie and Clyde. 2 crimes been done in America, not accredited to the Barrow mob, for they had no hand in the Urshel kidnap demand or the Kansas City depot job. A newsboy once said to his buddy, I wish old Clyde would get jumped. In the awful hard times we might make a few dimes if 5 or 6 laws would get bumped. The police haven't got the report yet. Clyde sent a wireless today, saying we have a peace flag of white, we stretch out at night, we have joined the NRA. They don't think they're too tough or too desperate. They know that the law always wins. They've been shot often before, but they do not ignore that death are the wages of sin. From heartbreak some people have suffered, from weariness some people have died, but take it all in all, our troubles are small till we get like Bonnie and Clyde. Some day they'll go down together, and they'll bury them both side by side. To few it means grief, to the law it's relief, but it's death to Bonnie and Clyde. End of The Trail's End. Clyde's reply. Bonnie's just written a poem, the story of Bonnie and Clyde, so I will try my hand at poetry with her riding by my side. As we travel down the highway, never knowing where it will end, never very much money, and not even a friend. As we travel through the city, looking for something to rob, Bonnie will always help me when I am casing a job. Sometimes we travel for days before we can find the right place, and then we would always wonder if there would be any shooting in the place. We don't want to hurt anyone, but we have to steal to eat, and if it's a shootout to live, then that's the way it'll have to be. We have never shot at anyone that wasn't after us, and to kill someone that is after you, you are lucky if you don't get it first. We have kidnapped some people and tied them to a tree, but not so tight that after we were gone, they could not get themselves free. We are going home tomorrow to look in on the folks. We will meet them out near Grapevine if the laws don't get there first. Nowadays it's all we live for, just one more visit home, for we know that some day they'll get us, and then it will be so long. We will drive by the station tomorrow, throw a bottle out under the shed, to meet us out near Irving if they don't start scattering some lead. We pray every town we pass through to forgive sinners like Bonnie and Clyde, and please God, just let us make it through this town to the other side. Some day we will go home forever, and they will bury us side by side. The grief that we brought to our families will pass as the years go by. Now that's not as good as Bonnie's, so I guess I will call it a flop. But please God, just one more visit before we are put on the spot. End of Clyde's reply. On that very last meeting, Billy had set her mind on being Henry's girl and riding with the gang. Emma was dead against it, said hell no. Billy was very cross with Emma for not giving her blessing. She appealed to Bonnie, her opinion she wanted to know. I just wouldn't pay any attention to Mama if I were you. No, I'd just go right ahead and do as I pleased. I wouldn't mind Mama at all. You just go right ahead and see where you land, was Bonnie's reply to Billy, wanting to take Henry's hand. To her memory, Emma wrote her daughter Bonnie the book Fugitives, together with Clyde's sister Nell, and on her grave the most beautiful epitaph, the kind only a mother can write for a beautiful daughter she once had. As the flowers are all made sweeter by the sunshine and the dew, so this old world is made brighter by the lives of folks like you. End of Part 47 and The End. Thank you for riding along with us and following Bonnie's life story. The Outlaw Queen of the Country Auto Trails. The girl who wanted to die, who teamed up with the boy who wanted to live. And tell 'em I did not smoke cigars. Now we've got to be moving on. So long.